Okay, so we're back for part 2 now. We're on the back of these notes, and we're going to do number 3. So we're going to multiply x plus 2y times 2x plus 3y. I will double distribute, so I'm going to take the first x and distribute to the 2x plus 3y. Now again, I'm going to do some of this in my head. X times 2x is 2x raised to the second. This is like a 1x, by the way. I can put a 1 there if I want. 1 times 2 is 2. X times x is x squared. Then I do 1x times 3y. Now notice I've got two variables here. So 1 times 3 is 3. X times y is xy. That's it. I can put them next to each other, but there's no other way to combine that. Okay, so we distributed the 1x. Now we have to distribute the 2y. So we'll do 2y times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, y times x is the same thing as x times y. So I will write it plus 4. I'll write it xy again, so it's the same way as I wrote the 3xy. Usually we write the letters alphabetically. Now, 2y times 3y. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. What's y times y? It's y raised to the second, because you add the exponents. That's y to the 1, y to the 1. Now, do we have any like terms? Yes, we have 3xy and we have 4xy. So xy, those are the like terms. So we get 2x squared. The middle will become 3 plus 4, which is 7xy, plus 6y squared. These are not like terms because they're different variables, so we cannot combine them. So we are done. All right, let's take number 4 here, 5x plus 9y, parentheses, squared. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write that as 5x plus 9y times 5x plus 9y. Don't try to go from here to the answer. There is a process for it, but I find it easier just to write it out. All right, in this case, let's do a box. So I'm going to set up 4 squares, 5x plus 9y going down, and now the second binomial is the same, 5x plus 9y going across. Okay, so now we're going to do the times table. We're going to multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. X times x, x squared. Now this one here, this square is 5x times 9y, so 5 times 9, 45. X times y is xy. And it's a positive, so I'll put a plus there. Now, down here, 9y times 5x, 9 times 5 is 45. Y times x, I'll write it as xy. Okay, you see the like terms there? They're actually identical terms. And then the last square here is 9y times 9y. 9 times 9 is 81. Y times y is y raised to the second. So we did the multiplication, now we have to add the like terms. We have 2 of them right here, this diagonal. So what we end up with is 25x squared plus 45 and 45 is 90 xy. When you add and subtract, you don't add exponents or subtract exponents. So it just stays xy plus 81y raised to the second, y squared. And that's as far as you go. That's it. Okay, let's do 5 here. 2x plus 1, that is a binomial. X squared plus 4x minus 5 is a trinomial. Now, you can distribute if you would like. You could do 2x times all of these, that whole set of parentheses. You could do positive 1 times all of these, and then you could add the like terms. In this case, this is where I would recommend a box. I think a box is a really nice way to organize this. I'm less likely to miss something. Now the way I'm going to set it up, notice that I now have 3 going across, 3 spaces. Well, that's because we have a trinomial. Going down, I still have just 2 spaces because it's 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1, I'll write it going down. Now across is 1x squared plus 4x, and that is a minus 5. Be so careful with your positives and negatives. Okay, so now it's a times table. 2x to the first times x to the second, we add the exponents. 2x to the third. 2x to the first times 4x is positive 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Add the exponents, x to the second. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. 1 times x squared is 1x squared. 1 times 4x is positive 4x. And 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. Okay, like terms? Well, we have 1x squared plus 8x squared, and we have 4x plus negative 10x, or 4x minus 10x. We have 2 pairs of like terms. So when we write the answer here, we have 2x to the third, that's the biggest exponent. Then we'll do the x squareds. 1x squared plus 8x squared is 9x squared. 4x plus negative 10x, or minus 10x, is minus 6x. And then minus 5. And that's it. That's as far as we go. So if you're doing a binomial times a trinomial, there's going to be quite a bit of multiplying. The box is a nice way to do it. Other than that, either double distributing or boxing is going to be the same amount of work pretty much. Okay, we got 2 more left. Number 6. What is the area of each rectangle? Well, area is length times width. So for part A, here's my length, 3x minus 4. Here's my width, x plus 8. So we will do, it doesn't matter the order, length times width, right there. Length times width. Okay, I'll double distribute. So we'll do 3x times x, 3x squared. Then we'll do 3x times 8. So we have to distribute to both of these. That's positive 24x. But we also have to distribute the minus 4 to the second set of parentheses. Minus 4 times x is minus 4x. Minus 4 times 8 is minus 32. Okay, do we have like terms? Yes, positive 24x minus 4x. So we get 3x squared. This will, if I subtract it or add negative 4, we get 20x. Positive 20x minus 32. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, I thought a positive and a negative was a negative. Yeah, that's if we're multiplying, but we're not multiplying. We are adding and subtracting now when we do the like terms. 24 minus 4 is still a positive 20. And that's as far as you go. All right, the last one here, we have a square. Well, a square is also length times width, except the length and the width of a square are the same. That's what it means to be a square. So we're going to do, let's do this one as a box. We'll do 4 squares because we have a binomial times a binomial. So 10x minus 3 times 10x minus 3. Okay, 10 times 10 is 100. X times x, x squared. If you don't put that exponent there, everything else is going to be off. 10x times negative 3 is minus 30x. Negative 3 times 10x is minus 30x. Now this is negative 3 times negative 3. A negative times a negative is a positive, and that will be 9. Okay, do we have like terms? Yes, we do. And so our answer is 100x raised to the second. Negative 30 plus negative 30 is minus 60x plus 9. And that is the end of the notes.